Welcome to a very special episode of the Tire Talk podcast. Today, we're diving deep into the heart and soul of the tire industry with a remarkable founder, Chuck Waite. He's the founder of Chuck Waite Tires. And just to give you a little background of Chuck, they started in 1983, a one-man shop, and has grown it into one of the top selling shops in the nation in a small town in Ohio that only has 300 people in population. So definitely going to be a very interesting episode. As we talk with Chuck, you'll feel the warmth of his father-like presence, a man that not only cares about tires, but deeply cares about people's growth and success. And just join me as we explore the journey of Chuck and how he turned, hardship into hope and a small shop into a multi-million-dollar business. Also, a big thanks to our sponsors, TireBase, for making this possible. But again, without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. And so now, Chuck, for example, you're obviously, successful in the tire industry.
Yeah.
Can you share us a story of how you started, how you got into the tire industry?
Well, I come back from college, and my dad said, "Chuck, you're not going to work for anybody." So I think there was a little gas station down for sale in Morristown, Ohio. So I come down here and checked the place out. It was a pretty rough old gas station, but ended up buying it and cleaned it up and started from 1983 with pretty much zero, an old tire changer, and I'd use my wife's car to haul some tires in. And
Tell them what your wife's car was.
it was a 74 Volkswagen
Beetle.
And I'd drive 70 miles and get 12 to 16 tires, and I'd drive back and sell them and go back the next day. And that's how that all developed. And
He's a very humble person. Ask him questions to really dig in deep. Tell him about the Volkswagen that Mom told me. No heat, no AC.
Yeah, no heat, no AC. But it was very humble beginnings, and I was a hard worker. I'd work 6-7 days a week, and I'd work from 6 in the morning to 10 at night. And I worked Christmas Day and Thanksgiving Day and New Year's Day, and I was relentless.
Tell him how long you went without a day off.
About 5 years when I started my business. And I was super aggressive. And then my wife worked for a newspaper company, so we'd make ads and hitting full page ads and running deals. And as time go, we kept growing and buying more tires and more tires. And I'd get around mentors in a lot of stores, and I'd be around them, talking to them, trying to figure out, how to do it, how to make more money, and different things like that. And as time went on and on and on, it just kept getting better and better and bigger client base. And doing an older man, I'd be doing his kids and their grandkids. Wow. And now I'm doing like 5th generation.
Oh my.
But I read a book one time, and there was 3 things to business. It was price, service, and quality. And the guy said, you can only be really good at 2. And if you get really good at 2, you'll win. But he said, I suggest you don't get in the price game. The price game is Walmart. And he said, I'll give you an example of Walmart. Price good, quality not so good, service not so good. Yeah. BMW, price not so good, quality good, service good. So I thought, you know what? I can't compete with big chains. I can't compete with Walmart price. But I can blow them away on service. And I know more about tires than they do, because they can't hire people really good enough to do tires. So I could beat them on quality. So you know what? I think I'll do that game. I'll go do the best I can on service and quality. And that's where I've hung my hat at. So any of our customers will tell you, they're not going to beat our service. And you're not going to beat the quality, because I know tires. And I mean, I know them inside and out. And I know what they fit, what the best to put on your car. And I have such a passion for our customers that I want to make sure that it's safe, that it's right, that the lug nuts are torqued, it's lined up right, that it goes straight. In fact,
Double torqued.
Yeah.
Double torque. In fact, I drive almost every customer's car down the bridge and back.
Right.
And when I pull it out front, them boys know, when I pull it out front, it's perfect. Then you can start torquing and capping it in the air pressure. But I make sure it drives straight. I make sure it don't vibrate. I make sure the TPMS light's off. I make sure it's smooth. When I walk out of the car, they know it's done. And our customers know that when they get in their car, they know it's right.
Everything's
If
good.
it passes the Chuck test, it's right.
There's not going to be TPMS light on the
There's not
dashboard.
gonna be a
There's
TPMS
not gonna
light
be,
on.
Unless you have to drive it 20 minutes to make it
Okay,
go
okay.
out.
And it's funny, it'll be a Toyota, and I usually get out and say, "Oh, I really screwed your car up. It drives like a Cadillac now," and they just laugh all the way to the counter.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what I do. That's my quality and service.
So now I did notice outside you guys, because you guys just had a big event. You guys are celebrating 40 years in business. So
Yes.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
But something that caught my attention was this banner that said, "Thank you to all my mentors."
Yeah.
And in my mind, I only have maybe at most 2-3 mentors, but I saw your list and it was quite big. Like
It's quite
maybe
big.
15-20 mentors. So
Yeah.
there's two questions I have for you here.
Yeah.
It's how do you pick a mentor and how do you actually find a mentor? Because
Yeah.
believe it or not, sometimes it's not very easy to find
It's
a
not
mentor.
very easy, but these are the people that kind of took me under the wing. For example, Michael Tire. There's a gentleman owned him named Tony Michael. And he's about 20 years old. He's retired now. He owned approximately 80 stores, 100 stores. And he took me under his wing. And every time I'd get around him, we would talk for hours. And I'd ask him questions and this and that, and how to run a business, and accounting, and tricks to the trade. I'll tell you one little small trick. He said, "Chuck, you open your store up, just turn the light on the coffee pot. Don't turn on the air compressor at once and open all the doors at once." He said, "You'll hit that demand meter. You can probably save yourself $300 or $400 a month your electric bill." That was just one little tweak that he had taught me, There was other mentors, a gentleman by the name of Don Snyder. Big,
awesome.
Awesome. Probably the best I ever seen retail. And he said, "Chuck, there's money laying everywhere. There's money laying everywhere." He said, "All these tire dealers, they just leave it lay." And he said, "I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you these tricks." And I probably picked up another $10,000, $12,000 a month in profit from
Wow.
learning how to pick it up. Yeah.
Just that skill.
Yeah.
And so do they just show up on you? Or how did you approach them? How did these people start
How
surrounding
did you know about Don, Dad? Tell him.
Well, when I go to dealer meetings, I go to tire dealer meetings, there's always one guy, he's sharp as can be. And I'll be talking to all of them, and I'll finally grab a cell, and I say, who's really awesome? Who sells me tires I do, or who really? And they'll say, "Oh, yeah, the Snyders. Man, them guys are awesome." So I'll go over there, and I'll start talking to them, and we'll get a relationship going. And I'll say, "You know something? I know a trick or two that you don't know. And if you'll tell me something that I don't know, I'll tell you something that you don't know." So that's how it goes.
This is true.
So Don Snyder said, "There's money laying everywhere, and I'll show you how to pick it up." And I said, "Then I'm going to show you one to double your sales. And I'm going to tell people right here."
Dad, you don't miss work, and you took off and drove down there to Steubenville.
I drove to his place, went in. But, and it was a no credit check finance through a SEMA.
Okay.
And that changed our lives.
Okay.
And that was the when we started dragging people in from 3 and 4 states, because another key to customers is making it easy for them. Most Americans, it used to be 50% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Now it's about 70%. It's not very good. But what we do now is we run ads, and we'll finance you. No credit check financing, and we'll finance you, which is easier for the customer. But what's happened for us is we've been able to sell better quality tires. We've been able to sell warranties, and if they got car repairs, we get that too. So it has helped us out tremendously, and it's given us competitive advantage, because a lot of big box stores have a decent price, but they can't take care of a customer for $15 a week, and that's what.
It's hard to work the portals, so anyone just can't do it.
And we honed in on that, and that is something we anchored on, and we have customers over and over and over. And I'll tell you what's funny. Some of these tire stores say, "Oh, I don't want that type of customer." Well, let me tell you what type of customer that is. They're lawyers.
Yeah.
They're doctors.
Facts.
There's some of them make 50, 60, 70,000 a year, and you think, why do they want to use that for? They don't want their credit checked. They got 90 days to pay it off.
Yeah.
And we've had one attorney that has used it 5 times that I know of.
Oh, yeah.
That I know of. We've got our first customer, Tracy. He's used it 6 or 7 times, and he buys tires and wheels $3,000 and $4,000 at a time.
Wow.
But we literally do millions of dollars on it. And
Dad, tell him about your mentor, Matt Kennedy, because he's on that board.
And my mentor, Matt Kennedy, was one of the owners of SEMA.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Matt came down here.
This is a great story. So
yeah, this is good.
they call one day,
Let's see what it is.
and Mariah answers the phone, and she's talking to this guy, and it kind of gets a little funny, but he's telling us all this tricks. And finally, Mariah goes, his name's Steve, I'll never forget this.
Yeah.
And she said, now, Steve, how do you make money? He thinks we're talking about him personally. He goes, well, I'll be honest with you, if you guys buy from us, he goes, I make $50. But we wasn't looking for that. We wondered, how does a SEMA make money? And it's the no credit check thing. But anyway, the first month, I kid you not, we did $100,000 on a SEMA the first month.
Wow.
And Matt Kennedy was one of the owners. And about 4 days after that month, Matt Kennedy walked through my front door.
He flew out here from
He
Utah.
flew from Salt Lake City
Yeah, they're from Utah.
to Columbus,
Yeah.
got him a car, and put it in here. It was so funny. He walked through the door and he goes, oh, Chuck Wade, I'm so glad to see you. He goes, we thought we got frauded for $100,000. He said, I kept looking at your Facebook ads and stuff. He goes, it can't be. He goes, you either a fraudulent person or you're one of the best businessmen I ever met in my life. And he stuck his hand out to me and he goes, you're one of the best businessmen I ever met in my life. So we did $100,000 the first month with him. And we've become
Became a
very
huge
close friends.
relationship, Yeah.
to the point we talk to him all the time. He just sent me a beautiful message about our 40th anniversary. And the guy is a hard worker. And he told me, he said, I like you, Chuck, and I love you and Mariah because you two will work. You'll grind it out. Most of these places don't get it. They won't work. They won't put the effort in. But you two just hammered it out. You understood it, and you grabbed it by the reins, and you figured it out. And it gave us a huge competitive advantage over it.
And we became friends with the owners.
Yeah.
Matt, he
Yeah.
kept-
So
came out here
anybody
multiple times.
out there that wants to know about a SEMA, I'm your guy.
My dad,
Okay,
my
absolutely.
dad doesn't realize this, but he's actually
Yeah.
his biggest, like his best characteristic, and he doesn't even notice this.
Yeah.
He can network.
I can see.
He
Yeah.
finds
Yeah.
a way to get these people to come here.
So
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
definitely that helps me understand more.
He doesn't even realize it's called networking.
And I'll tell you
because
something
he's
else.
genuinely friends with them.
I'll tell you something else real quick about mentors. So I got another mentor named Larry Sutton.
Okay.
He owns Rent and Roll.
Okay.
You know how I got him? I was watching TV one morning, Blue Collar Millionaires, and they said, meet Larry Sutton. And they're going on about Rent and Roll, and I'm looking and watching Tires and Wheels, and it's interesting. And they said, well, don't feel sorry for Larry. Well, he sells tires, and they're going on and on. Oh, by the way, he has 87 stores at that time at 5% royalty fees. So I'm watching it. I watch it again. I watch it again.
This is so true.
I watch it again about 18, 20 times. My wife goes, you tired of watching that? I said, no. I said, because every time I watch it, I learn something new. So I get on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I send him a message, hey, Larry, this is Chuck Waite. You don't know me, but I'm in Ohio. And he comes back and goes, yeah, I do. I've read about you in a magazine somewhere. We became great friends. He has about 200 stores now.
He had you come down.
I went down and did a podcast with him down there.
Really?
He
We
invited you
became
down
close
for a
friends.
podcast.
And believe it or not, we trade. He'll say, we do this, and I say, we do this.
That's the
So we
beauty of it.
learn, and that's what I like about that. That's who I'm looking for when I go to any Goodyear conference or any conference. I get around table a bunch of tire dealers,
Okay.
and one of them will say something, and I'll go back and make $100,000 more that year just by one little detail.
So all these people skipping the conferences don't want to go to this or that. You would recommend that's
They're
probably one of the
foolish.
first. Okay.
They're foolish.
Okay.
You go to the conference, you get inspired, you learn something, and you're going to run into a dealer that's like, man, that guy done something good, man.
Yeah.
He's doing something right. And another thing is, and I run into a family, in Atlanta I become close friends with, and they were struggling, and I mentored them, and
They rolled in on fumes.
they rolled in on
This
fumes.
was to the Goodyear conference.
They rolled in on
Great
fumes,
people.
and one of them had a tear in her face, the lady, and I grabbed her. I said, you don't have to worry, honey. I got you. She goes, really? I said, oh, yeah. I said, just watch what I can do for you. So I took them from a bad situation. They were doing 1.3 million. They're doing about 4.6 million. They're banging about 1.3 million in the profit column after every bill is paid now.
Wow.
And one of my last calls with her, she said, I got another problem now. She goes, I got to know, we're going to pay too many tax dollars. And I said, Robin, I read the tax law book too. Yeah. And you need to buy some new equipment and blah, blah, blah.
Some tires maybe?
Yeah, tires or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, that's the beauty of it too. But yeah, you don't want to miss conferences. You want to go.
I see your guys' Facebook page.
Yes.
Yes.
Role.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can you guys share a little bit about that?
Yes.
That would be her.
Okay.
She does all her
I guess
Facebook.
we can start with me doing that. But I do our Facebook page. And so believe it or not, we are so busy here. We don't have an official Instagram page, which is terrible. We're also not on Twitter. But we do it on Facebook where it will actually run your ads on Facebook Messenger and it will run your ads on Instagram. So we probably spend, I try to spend, and some people will be like, wow, that's a lot of money. Some will be like, oh, that's not very much. We spend around $100 a day promoting ads on Facebook. And we try to really emphasize on the sales that we have, sometimes just really funny stuff. We're kind of big personalities, we're family owned, so we promote all kinds of things like that. We promote all of the rebates and giveaways. We really try to hit our financing really hard on there. But that's the main thing that we do on Facebook. And we have, for not a lot of followers, but we have for our area, when you know that we are from a town of 350 people, when you see that we have almost 22,000 Facebook followers, it's like, wow, that's a small town.
That is.
And that's a lot of Facebook followers for the amount of people there.
It is.
But we kind of bring people in from the county, and we've kind of just developed a fan club on Facebook.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So have you ever watched anything on Larry Sutton on Rent and Roll?
I should maybe watch more of that, but I've heard of his name. Not
Yeah, he has 200 franchise stores.
Is it the
He rents.
Wheel?
Yeah, well, it's like Rent a Wheel, but it's called Rent and Roll. Rent and Roll.
Because maybe again I'm more west side.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this must be
Yeah,
east.
he's phenomenal.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, he rented washers and dryers and TVs.
Wow.
He sold his company for $30 million. He's retired.
Okay.
He's on a TV show. Like, man,
He got tired of playing
He
golf.
goes, he got tired of playing golf. I retired. And he goes, hey, there's somebody in Houston that's renting tires and wheels. And he goes, what? They're renting tires and wheels. He goes, I know more about the renting business than they do. He said, so he caught a flight and flew out to Houston. And he went there and talked to them guys. He goes, they don't know what they're doing, but I do.
And now I know.
He goes back, opens his first store up. I think he told me he netted about $750,000.
Wow.
And then he did another one, and then he did another one. And then some guy comes up to him and says, hey, man, why don't you franchise me one of these things? And that's how he got a franchise business. Now, you get 200 stores with a 5 to 7% kickback per store.
It's a whole different business.
That's a whole different business.
Now, it's funny you mentioned franchising. Have you guys ever considered franchising?
We are.
Chuckweight?
We are. You can get a Chuckweight tire. You can buy one right now. Okay. But when we got it all done, COVID hit.
Oh.
And that really put whammy. Now, we have a customer right now wanting to buy one. But, it's funny about franchising. We're going to get some going, and we got one coming pretty soon probably. And we're going to give them every trade secret of Chuckweight tire. I mean, we're going to mentor them. We're going to have their back, and we're going to make sure they're very successful. But I was laying in bed the other night. There will never be another Chuckweight tire. There's nobody they can't duplicate us. They just can't duplicate.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard to compete with us too. It's a
very-
double-edged sword.
Yeah, we got someone want to get within 30 miles. You don't want to be close to me at all.
No,
I'll be
yeah.
your worst competitor. You don't want that. But so yeah. I think franchising's good. I think a young person would be a good idea for them to
Okay.
get a chuck weight tire, especially with the knowledge and the buying power we have and the connections. I think a person could make. I know they would make a lot of money. We had one attorney looked at it and said, if they do it halfway right, they're going to make about $453,000 a year net.
Just halfway right.
Just halfway right. And if they get in a good area and do it right, we
Now, do they have to be in a 300 population town? Or
No.
No,
No.
we
Is
don't
that just-
recommend that.
No, I don't recommend it. But you know, I have learned something. I told somebody the other day. It used to be you had to be in a big congested area. Not so much now with
Yeah.
Facebook.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I'll be honest. A
Yeah.
lot of these successful companies,
Yeah.
I'm noticing
Yeah.
their first store started off somewhere not very prime location.
Yeah.
I would say. So is it that desire or need to make it successful? Because
I think it is the desire and need, and when you're out in these areas, you have to be the best and really good. Or they'll just go somewhere else.
Because how many tire shops is our average customer passing?
Probably
Coming?
10. A lot of them probably 5 to 10.
There's nothing out here. We're in the middle of nowhere.
That price, yeah.
Wow.
We'll get them from Columbus, Cincinnati, and they probably pass 40 or 50.
Yeah, a lot of those tire discounters or whatever.
Yeah, just right by them,
Yeah.
right by them, just right by them, and Discount Tire, and Walmart, and Sam's
Yeah, it's
Club,
nothing
and
against any of
Costco.
them.
Oh,
No,
nothing
no,
against.
no,
They're all
no, no,
wonderful
no.
companies.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, it's just a different.
It's a
Everybody has now. What do you have to say? And again, this is just me
Yeah,
talking about common,
Yeah.
I guess, taboos we could call it in the industry about
Yeah.
the market is shrinking. There's not enough market for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, what do you have to say about that?
that's probably true to some extent, but we've gotten bigger, and bigger, for lots of reasons. But one reason is we made it easier on the customer to pay for them.
Okay.
That's one big reason. And then I beat all the rest of them on quality and service. And when you run down an interstate, there's a lot of cars out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a gazillion cars out there. They got to buy tires somewhere. A dealership, chain stores, whatever.
Demand is
Most
insane.
people know nothing about tires. She proved that to me. I used to look at everybody like, well, they know as much as me. They
No.
don't know.
They don't even know their size, probably.
They don't even know their size.
or that's it.
If they know size, you're already like 90
Yeah.
percent like.
They
above
don't
everyone.
know. And in my mind, I always thought they knew, and they did not know, which made it even better
But
because,
people like it that we do know.
and we educate them.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
educate them. I show them where the dot numbers and how old the tires are and the proper air
And
pressure.
just the different tread
and
styles.
the styles, the ratings, and what should be on their car, and what's going to keep their kids safe.
And like what they do with their life to make it better. Like
Yeah.
if they drive a lot. If it sits a lot.
Exactly.
So I know, I know then teaching your customers is important, and
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
you guys tend to do that through social media, or
Yeah.
how do you keep your customer informed, or do you guys have some sort of, like, just educate them as they come in? What's your approach there?
Yeah, we do it on social media and as they come in both.
Yeah, but again,
mouth.
most of them don't know. They just said, "Hey, my neighbor, or my brother-in-law, my friend says you guys are awesome. You know what you're doing.
Referral.
They trust you with everything," and that's how most of that comes in.
So
and
the
then,
power of the referral.
yeah, power of
referral friend.
referral. Yeah,
That's,
and that's the best.
I have people now,
Very
and this
big.
is true.
Yeah,
Several times this has happened to me. The first time it ever happened to me, I about fell over. But he just walked in, handed me the keys to their truck,
yeah.
$50,000, $60,000, $70,000 truck, and said, "I'll be back later to see my wheels and tires on it." Left.
just like that.
Didn't ask me what style, what type of tread,
He
what look.
said Mariah will make it look good.
Yeah. It just happened to me the other day on a Jeep.
Yeah.
A guy came in and said, "I'll be back later to pick it up." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, what do you want?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, you're telling me."
Surprise me.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Then he left.
I got a lot of customers walk up counter, hand the keys. Chuck, I need set tires. You know.
Yeah.
So how do you price those customers? How do you know what to, like, do you just go based off your
No,
regular pricing?
I'll ask them a couple questions before you get the door. Let's see. You gonna trade that car off? You gonna keep it?
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna keep it. Okay. Are you driving Cincinnati area? Yeah. Well, we better put something on pretty good. Now, if they say, "Oh, it's my old beater," I don't ride it much. then we go to a Royal brand.
Okay.
So we got some brands that fit, you know.
Got it.
But I try to quiz. And on the TV, they'll say, hey, I'm looking for some 225, 65, 17s. You looking for something good or something inexpensive? And they say, oh, and most of the time customers say, somewhere in the middle.
Yep. They don't wanna.
Yeah.
Not the cheap, not the high.
Just give me something.
And then you got the customer that says, oh, I want Michelin's. And that's it. It's
want the
Michelin.
best.
I want the best. I want Michelin's. They say Michelin's, that's it.
Okay.
You don't put no other brand on them. You're going to have,
Because they just most likely won't do it.
yeah,
Michelin
it's
has
Michelin's.
brand loyalty out there.
They have brand loyalty.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When that
Yes.
customer says Michelin, I tell my people, Michelin. No, you don't dance. You don't
This is
talk.
where something you guys can definitely teach me. I mean, in Vegas, we
Yeah.
focus more on the tier 4, tier 3, which are Royal brands.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe top would be.
See,
Goodyear,
that's
next
another a problem with the tire industry. Most people in the tire business think, and she's taught me this, that they're looking for the cheapest tire.
No.
Not true.
False.
False. Not true at all. They're looking for a good deal, but they're looking for a good tire.
Yeah.
They really are. It's funny. I always thought tier 4 and tier 3
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something else I know, tire stores. I go in a lot. I've been in over 1,000 tire stores. I go on vacation. Where do I go?
I know, so annoying. A tire store.
Hey.
I get into Mavis. I've been all over them. Costco, Discount Tires, Town Fair. If they got a store when I'm at vacation, I'm in them. I'll know that manager's name. I'll have him show me inventory. I'll have him show me his computer. I'll get everything I need to know. Everything.
And they just do it.
And they never ask.
No.
Like,
No, well, I get to talking, and they start realizing this dude knows more than I know. But I can tell a tire dealer, and listen to me, you people out there in the tire business. I can ask you one question, and I can tell if you're making money or not. One question. And I'm going to ask you this question I'm going to ask you is, how do you mark up your tires? Do you do by dollar, or you do by percentage? And if they say dollar amount,
oh, okay.
you're losing money.
Okay. Good.
They're
I
losing
got
money.
nervous there for a moment.
They're losing money. They're losing money. They're losing
I'm
money.
doing percentage. I
I'll
hope
go,
it's not the wrong.
14s we make 30 a tire,
Okay,
15s we make 40 a tire. I said, oh yeah, what you make on a 33, 12, 50, 20? You make what, $30 a tire? So percentage is where it's at. You should make 30% is break even. It's just break even. In retail. You're just barely.
Now, 30% are we talking about considering no installation? That's just the tire markup.
That
Well,
would.
Because
people do it
some
different
stores-
ways.
Yeah,
some-
we figure ours installed out the door.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're considering it 30%
Yeah, but
installed and everything.
it's out the door.
Okay.
But
That's the
that
break
that I hate that figure.
Okay, 30% then.
No way. 35.
Okay, at least.
At least 35.
That's already very, very.
Yeah, and if you like the Michelin's, man, that's tough. 30, 35 retail, that's tough. Big truck tires, we sell Kendas and Royal MTs, we get 35%. Pretty good bucks. And then we have our house brand, we get 60% on out the door price. So you take your 60 and your 60% profit and your 35, and then you get your mechanics back there making 70.
Yeah.
And if you do like $200,000 or $300,000 a month, that profit 50, 60%. So if you can get 50% on 100 grand, you made 50 grand.
Yeah.
200,000, you made 100 grand. 400,000, you made 200 grand.
Especially if you start getting creative with
Creative.
alignment packages,
Yeah.
road hazard.
Alignment, road hazard.
Do you guys normally include the road hazard
No.
into the price, or you guys let the customer do
No,
it?
we do it at the end. When they come at the counter, we say, I got keywords. I can take a guy and put him at the counter and say sell road hazard, and he'll flip flop and miss all day long. I can't sell one.
Yeah.
And I said, let me give you the training. Oh yeah, what's that? When that customer comes up, there are two things you got to have. You got to have a tire there with something hanging out of it,
Okay.
and then you
Okay.
got to say, Mr. Customer, I highly recommend you getting road hazard because tires are expensive, and I got you covered for 3 years. You tear a tire, we're going to replace that. You get a nail in that, we're going to fix that. If you're in Houston, Texas, here's a phone number, and we're going to take care of you. and
It's
this
an extra
$200
$100.
this $200 tire is only 14 to 19 bucks one time, and I got you covered for 3 years. 99% of the time
They do it.
they do it, and
And it's a good deal for them too.
It is.
we'll sell about 100, 100.
You know, I'm an introvert in a way that I don't
Yeah.
like. I'm not a salesperson, but whenever I
Yeah.
used to sell road
Yeah.
hazard, I try to take the more logical approach, and I would say, look, because I learned the hard way. You know, unfortunately,
Yeah.
there was no training.
Yeah.
And I started getting customers back where they would just buy new tires.
Yeah.
They would get a nail like
Yeah.
2-3 weeks, and then they would
Yeah.
have to buy a new tire. And
Yeah.
then they would tell me, but you didn't offer me the road hazard.
Exactly.
And that's where I started telling people, hey, look, I'm just telling you the road hazard. I had this other customer the other day, and then same thing, you know, they would say, okay, yeah, I'll get it because,
Yeah.
you know, they don't look at it as salesy,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I could see how this works. So
Yeah.
the key is having something
Yeah.
in there,
Yeah.
and then
The key is having the tire there, and I'll show it to you
It's
as we
not
leave.
real.
It's real.
Something that's happening.
And another thing
People
is,
like
okay,
authenticity.
so the customer spends $1,000 for you and tears the tarp 2 weeks, and he didn't get road hazard. But I told him, his fault. No argument.
Yeah.
I don't tell him, he's pretty upset. So if he tells me no, I still win. Okay, you said no. I put on there, decline road hazard.
Yep.
So he comes back, oh, you tore tarp, daggone.
there's no
But
argument.
guess what else
Yeah.
happens? He gets the road hazard, and we'll show you one right here. This lady bought road hazard. You want to bring
Oh,
her?
wow, yeah, wow, look at that.
This tractor pin.
This is true.
This is a real deal. This happened to a real customer.
Oh, jeez. Is it getting
Yeah, that tire was about $300. She had it. She come in, and I said, guess what? She goes, what? I said, you have road hazard warranty, and it's going to cost you nothing. And I said it quite loudly in the lobby because there was probably 10 other customers there. Guess what? When I said, you had road hazard, you're so lucky that today you're going to get this new tire for no cost. And when I said it loudly, I always tell them.
Yeah.
The other 10 people in the lobby, guess what they told me when they walked up the counter? Hey, make sure I get that road hazard.
Yes. And that's what other tire dealers don't do, which we do.
Yeah.
You celebrate. Whenever,
We celebrate.
Even though it's costing you money, like
We
Yeah,
celebrate
if you're
it.
within the first year, if you've got people around and someone gets a free tire repair or they tear up a tire, you don't look gloom and doom like, dang it, I have to pay for that tire. You do this.
Yeah.
You had the road hazard.
You're
so you
smart.
got a free tire
You're a genius.
repair. Yeah.
That is very good.
Yeah, and they're happy.
The energy.
And every time
Yeah.
they get tires, that customer always buys road hazard.
Yeah.
They'll just have time, you don't get, hey, make sure I get road hazard.
Oh, 100%. You set the vibe
Yeah.
in the showroom.
Yeah.
Like you want a good vibe in your showroom.
Yeah.
Now, again, and I think we touched base slightly on this, but
Yeah.
you mentioned something about in-house road hazard. What's your take about in-house versus
I would,
program?
well, we're in-house, but we're kind of slightly with the program.
Yeah, we're both.
We're hybrid, we'll call it.
We're hybrid.
We
I've heard of
recommend
this.
both.
Yeah.
Why only have one when you can have both?
Yeah, but we're in-house. Yeah, we're
Now
in-house.
tell them how our road hazard works. So kind of discuss numbers because whenever you're mentoring people, you bring that tire and you call it your $100,000.
That's my $100,000 tire per year. I
Yeah.
said, see that car? I make about $100,000 a year. Every year off that tire.
And how much did we have to pay out to people?
I think the most we ever paid out was like 12 to 18,000 bucks.
So, and again, I don't know if this relates because we would need like sales numbers, but you could tell me if this is right. But in Vegas, for example, we noticed that it's about a 10%, 15% out of all the road hazard income that's claimed every year.
That's
So if we
probably
sell,
right.
Well,
if we
we-
sell 100,000, we should expect somewhere around 10 to 12,000 in claims. Is
It's probably is true. It was at one time 2%,
wow.
but it's probably went up since then.
And you could lower it again because there's still a lot of programs out there that Cooper or some of
Yeah.
these like Arroyo, for example,
Yeah.
offer
They have the
some-
first,
exactly.
and we still sell the road hazard on that tire.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. We don't give
Yeah.
that money away.
But you know, I've seen a lot of shops too where they're throwing these tires away, and you're like, no, you gotta save them, send them, and they'll
Send
give you
'em
some
back.
money.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
when you do it in-house too, and this is why I think we're so good. This is what honestly sets us apart. And Dad, you don't even realize how good this is. You don't get finicky with your customers. If you buy road hazard off of me and you buy it October the 7th of 2023, October the 6th of 2024, if you come in and something's hit your sidewall,
Yeah.
I don't care what hit your sidewall. I don't care where it happened.
Yeah, we don't play games. We just
No
take care of
games.
it.
Yeah.
No
You
games.
get a 100% free tire.
No games.
Because that's what
We
I
don't play no
told you.
games.
It's very, very
Yeah.
upsetting to see, and I've seen this firsthand
Yes.
where oh, well, you know, it's road hazard, but this was an accident, so
Yeah.
accidents are not covered.
Well,
and-
sometimes that's kind of a gray area if it's like your insurance that would pay for it. But things that you would run
Yeah.
over,
But
it's no doubt.
it's still hard to know.
Yeah.
Like again,
Right.
I've seen from what I'm getting here.
Right.
Is you guys are more on the flexible side. I like.
We're flexible.
We'll
But
trust you. We see it. you're
we've
covered.
made so much money that we've made so much money in the pot that why take a chance? Why take a chance to lose a customer?
Yeah,
we,
exactly.
we don't argue.
Why?
You'll
Why?
spend more in marketing.
You'll
just to
spend more
get
in
it back or get a
We
new
do
one.
the opposite.
Yeah,
We are thrilled for you
and
to
you're a
take care of the
hero.
tire and get a free one.
You're absolutely hero when
yeah,
you take
if we
care of
can
a
make
customer.
us the hero,
Yeah.
that's what we
That's
want.
very,
we
very
want the
nice.
story for us to be the hero.
They'll be
and the
sitting at a
customer-
restaurant saying, "Yeah, I got tires on Chuck's and I hit a curb and popped it and he put me a brand new tire in there and thanked me and pat me on the back and out the door I went."
And you know what in Ohio gets them? I don't know if this is the same in Vegas, but potholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ohio's notorious for potholes.
Oh yeah.
For us, it's nails. A lot of
Nails,
construction
We have that
construction.
too.
everywhere.
But
Yeah.
potholes, they'll just like pop the tire, and if they had that road hazard in the first year, a free tire.
So just
And the second year they come in, we shot 50%.
Yeah, we
you
just
see, and
prorate
this
it.
is where again I'll be
Yeah.
honest that we've been victim where when
Yeah.
people would hit a pothole since they're not as common,
Yeah.
we would say they're not covered, and then now this customer's out there putting a negative review,
Exactly.
talking bad about the business, and then that's where like look,
It's not worth
man.
it.
It's
just not
worth
worth it.
it. Why are we doing this?
And you know, sometimes through the customer eyes, they're kind of right in a way.
I mean, you put in yourself in the customer's
Yeah.
place, and
You
you're
look
like,
in their eyes like, I bought tires off you and I had trouble and you won't even do
alignment
anything.
is a different area because you're
Yeah.
like, for example, hey,
Yeah.
we told you about the alignment.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
uneven
yeah.
wear.
Yeah,
your
yeah,
tire's
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't do much.
It does. But even though I get to that customer where they're kind of like a little unhappy,
We can make it work out.
we can make it work out where like what if I did this for you? This tire's
You have to be
this tire's
flexible.
$100. How about I always say I'll share the pain with you. I'll tell you what, I'll pay 50 out of my pocket,
Wow.
and you pay 50 because I like you and
Gives
you're.
them that.
Yeah.
I was telling them I like you and you're a good guy.
Well, it's the truth though.
Yeah, and they'll say, "Oh, okay," you know.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that works.
You have to be flexible.
Chuckway being a family business, I want to know a little bit more of the family dynamics and how you guys work as a family.
I got 3 of my daughters. They all kind of help us, but 2 of them work with me. And
Now, we
Mariah's
should
with
start
them.
with you and mom
Well, yeah.
back in the day.
Oh, back in the
Because
day.
he's got such an inspiring story, and this needs to make this podcast.
Oh, my
Let's start
mother.
with your family, how your dad and your mom. Just tell them your story. It'll take 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, well, I was raised poor,
Yeah.
and
Humble beginning.
my dad moved us an old store, and there was a couple bedrooms in the back, so we lived in the back end of a store. So pretty much flat broke, and my dad was just a terrible businessman. But me and my mom would work. I mean, I was working at 8, 9 years old, pumping gas and making sandwiches and mountain tires, and
It was a convenience store.
it was a little
too, and
convenience
they sold
store.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches, 7 days a week. And so that was pretty rough back then. And, you know, then I was pretty good at basketball, so I got to play some basketball, a little bit of college basketball. But my dad told me one time, he said, "Oh, Chuck, you're going to be an entrepreneur. You're not going to work for nobody." And that's how the little gas station come and all that stuff. But my wife, I met her, and she was working at the paper. But she was my backbone, and we'd make those ads. And it was back in the day of La Chevettes. So we'd run a 155.80 for $15.99. And what I was trying to do is get them in my door and sell them a $35 tire. I was making money. And I was losing money here, but I was making money here. So I'd get them in here and say, "Yeah, that tire's not
And
right."
you were just trying to get your name out.
Yeah, and it's kind of, this one here's pretty good. So that was then. And it's just very humble beginnings with old junk equipment and an old building with ratty old doors and using a board to raise the doors. And I had a space heater for heat.
Yeah.
And I had a payphone for a phone.
You know, when you mentioned that, I was like, that sounds like a good business idea.
It was a
Back
good
in the
one.
day, like you get the
I had-
phone and you get the business.
Yeah,
It's
I'd
like,
have people put quarters in for me, you know.
That's crazy.
But
People
that was crazy, wasn't
They
it?
sponsored
I
you.
was trying to
That is-
get every competitive advantage I could get on my competitors. There was other competitors running big tar ads, and I would study their ads. I was like, man, I can sell that BF Goodrich $3 less. because he's paying a couple guys, but it's just me.
Yeah, you have that advantage.
I had the advantage. I had no labor, and I mounted every tire for about 5
Mom
years.
sold them and you mounted them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My wife
Okay.
would write up the invoice, and I prided myself because I was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Steel wheels, I'd throw a set of tires on about 15, 20 minutes. I was done.
Done.
That's
Yeah.
how you get good. How many
Yeah.
tires do you think you've changed, Dad, in your life?
Oh,
Give me a number. How much did you guys sell in the 70s in New Market?
we'd sell 350 recaps a week in the 70s.
Okay.
And you changed most of them.
Yeah, 14, 15 bucks a piece.
Now, are we talking recaps, commercial tires, or
No,
are these
car tires.
a recap?
They sold car tires back in the 70s.
Okay, that's for me. That's new.
Yeah, and
Or
we
I-
do like 4 for 79 bucks.
Wow.
And
you
then
had
Ohio
to
was
sell
pretty crazy. Ohio had bad winters, so about November, people would buy snow tires, and majority of them had no money, like the rest of us, and they'd wait till the last minute. Well, we'd get 3 or 4 inches of snow, and guess what happened to your tire store then?
They just
I'd be here till 3 in the morning,
wow.
3 o'clock in the morning. I tell people just leave your car out there,
I'll
and
be-
tomorrow morning you can come over and get it, and I'll have it done. And my wife would be. She'd be at home waiting on me, and I'd stay in there, and I'd pull one car in and put 2 snow tires and back it out. And I'd pull another car and put 2 snow
One
tires
after
on.
another,
One
after
after
another.
another. For hours I did that, yeah. So, and that was when you was making $5 a tire plus $4 to mount. You was making like $9. But I was making 36 bucks an hour back then, because I could do like 4 an hour,
Okay.
something like that. Which was big money back then.
That's
Yeah,
how
no,
you always
absolutely.
say that. That's how you learn the tire business, is by getting your hands dirty.
Oh, yeah.
And you've
I mean,
done
you-
your fair share of
You
getting your hands
definitely.
dirty.
I started from
learn
ground
a
zero.
lot more.
Yeah.
that
Oh
way.
yeah, a lot more. And it's funny today. These young guys that work for me, they'll be out there wrestling a tire or having trouble with it, and I'll say, "Move over," and I'll grab it and I'll pop it real quick and hand it to them. Like
It's always nice to impress them, right?
they say, "I didn't know you could do that."
Oh, whatever.
And I always say, "When was you born?" Oh, I said, "I done mounted 1,000,000 tires before you was born."
How many tires do you think you've mounted, Dad? I just wanna
way
know
over,
this just
way
for
over a
my sisters.
million. I don't
Oh,
know.
it's got to be. You have over
Way-
1 million customers in your customer
I don't know.
base.
Way over a million.
Wow.
Personally,
Yeah.
where he put it on the bead.
So now again, I don't want to
Yeah.
cause any sort of
Yeah.
bad thoughts here, bad
No.
beat. But
Yeah.
do you guys? Is there any time any tension between family
No.
members?
None.
So
Zero.
how do you guys manage? Is it a just direct chain of command, or how do you ensure
Well-
that daughters feel listened and
Yeah,
the other way
see,
around?
my girls have so much respect for me
Yeah.
that whatever I say goes. Now, we and her, we've never had arguments, but she'll say, "Dad, I think you're wrong. I think we should do this."
We do go back and forth.
But we never argue. There's
No,
always
it's
tremendous
never
amount of
like-
love and
yeah.
respect. My kids respect me. My employees respect me.
Same.
Yep.
It's a good vibe.
And I respect her.
Once you put out that good vibe.
And my other daughter,
yeah.
Morgan, same way. If they got good ideals, sometimes I'm a little hesitant, like, I just
But
don't
you
know.
listen to me most of the time.
And she's been right 90-some
A lot.
percent. There's been a couple times it just didn't work out, this or
Yeah,
that.
that's
But
true.
but
That's
but
normal though.
but
yeah.
most of it worked. Like the 2 alignments. I learned another thing about business.
Oh, we need to talk about that, Dad, how that came to me.
Well, real quick, but always go that one step farther than your competitor.
Oh, you should hear, you gotta hear
One
this.
more, just get 1 or
Yeah.
2 more steps. Well, the steps that they won't do. It's like, I ain't gonna give you 2 free alignments. Oh, well, we will. Guess what? 2 free alignments done for us.
Oh my gosh.
My mechanic has made a lot of money because they come back. Hey, always being honest with integrity. Well, your ball joint's bad now. Your tire rod end's bad now. Free alignments have made us a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here,
Yeah.
on certain sets, and when
Yeah.
I was growing up, when I was like little,
Yeah.
he didn't have his alignment machine.
No.
You got your alignment machine what year?
Don't remember.
It was in the 90s.
Yeah, that's another story.
You got your first alignment machine in the 90s, and the amount of cars in Murraystown when he got that alignment machine, isn't it horrible? As an elementary student, I remembered when my dad put the
That
alignment
is
machine.
that talks a lot about
Yeah. But I was asleep. I had a dream
Yeah.
because we were trying to figure out how we could sell more. And back then, the company was called Kaufman, and I'm sure a lot of viewers are familiar with Mark Kaufman in that business. But we were trying to hit our numbers with him, and so
Okay.
he was like, "We need to figure out how we can sell more Cooper, Goodyear, and Michelin." And what he was doing previously, before I was really going in hard with what we were gonna do, he was just saying like, "Oh, like he was running ads like when you buy 4, you get $100 off." So kind of just like a discount type of thing. And 1 free alignment, free lifetime rotating balance. I literally had a dream and I called him on the phone. And I said, last night I dreamed. This is a true story. And I have dreams all the time. I said, we're going to start doing 2 free alignments on the phone. Just those brands. We're going to do 1 at their time of purchase. We're going to do 1 halfway through the tire's life. You went back and forth with me for like a week.
I did.
And then finally I just put it out there. And I said, oh, this is happening. So once it made Facebook, and we have a little rule out here, if it's not on Facebook, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So once it hit Facebook, it was like a game changer. And I put it on Facebook, and we had a customer, McCollum.
Yeah.
What happened?
He called me.
Immediately.
She shot it on there, and 45 seconds later, the phone rang, and it was a manager of McDonald's. He goes, hey, this is Dave McCollum. Yeah.
He saw the ad.
I just got that out of my phone. I'll be down. I want 4 good years. I'm going to take advantage of that rebate into 2 alignments.
Yeah, and the 2 alignments.
Just like that.
That's unheard of. I've
In
never
seconds.
heard of this.
And we've been doing the 2 free alignments now.
For a long time.
It was before I was married.
Yeah.
Wow.
6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
We've just kept that going.
Yeah.
1 at your time of purchase.
And you know the
1
thing
in
with
30
our
months.
drive-through hunter?
Yeah.
So we get the alignment done, and I say, every time you come back for your free rotating balance every 5,000, we always drive through the machine. If it's green, we leave it alone. When I say, as soon as it pops red, we do your alignment while you're here.
Yeah.
So customers love that.
Yeah, it's good.
So no, but you did touch on something. You said before the business was called Huffman or
Kaufman.
That was a
Kaufman.
retail.
That was
they sold out to U.S. Auto for us.
okay. So that was a distributor.
A distributor.
Okay, I thought
We were trying to hit
Distributor.
Cooper numbers. You know how you hit your
got it,
numbers.
Got it.
Yeah.
But this business has always been named
Chuck Wade Tire, always.
Since 83.
Since inception.
Yeah, since conception. I put my name on it. I thought, you know what? I think
He's very creative.
if you put your name on it, you want it to be good, don't you?
Exactly.
I really think you want your name on it. That's it. You're putting out like it's got to be good.
You're not gonna put your name to something that's not good.
That people are
Right.
mad.
And I agree with that philosophy.
Yeah.
100%.
And
Yeah.
see, that is like
So
the
why
best
Wade
part.
tires though?
Huh?
Why Wade tires? Chuck Wade tires.
His name is Chuck Wade.
Oh, okay. I
My
thought it
last-
was the actual weight and tires. Oh, so it's
No, my
Wade.
name's
Okay.
last name is Waite.
Okay.
That's what I
Chuck
said. He's
Wade
a very
tires.
creative person.
Chuck Wade.
and he
Got
sells
it.
tires. Chuck Wade tire.
Got
We
it,
keep
got
it easy.
it.
That's also
That
Chuck
my
Wade
old-
Tire. I
Okay,
got my
that was
name.
a-
That's my name, Chuck Wade.
Yeah, my
I
old
thought it's
email
like Chuck is waiting
Chuck
for
Wade
tires.
Tire.
No,
Huh.
Chuck Wade Tires.
So I was being sarcastic when I said we're creative.
Got it. Okay.
But that's
Well,
my real name.
Yeah, Chuck Wade.
So the no tension, no issues,
None.
there's respect
Zero.
from daughters.
Zero.
And then now this might be more of a question, me working with my father sometimes. I know it's hard
Yeah.
for fathers sometimes to kind of see points of view different. And I'm sure, as I'll later understand probably
Right.
my kids, is kids sometimes just don't need to go through or live through certain things. And
Yeah.
they might not see that this just might
Yeah.
not work.
Yeah.
So how do you guys work that balancing? Is there just a piece of advice that you could be offering to maybe a family business that's struggling out there with this topic?
Well, I really don't know. You got to work together. You got to gel. You got
Yeah,
to
teamwork makes
teamwork.
the
You
dream work.
got to make that work.
Yeah. You have to be genuine.
You have to be genuine. You have to be open-minded. Me being a dad, I had to be open-minded, and that
And
was a
not-
little
not
tough.
all people in family can work together.
No.
And some people are better at different jobs than others.
Yep.
And you got to recognize that, and you don't want people unhappy.
And I'll tell you, for example, here, I don't think there's anybody can outsell me. I really don't. But now I do. I got 2 of them. There was a time I didn't think, man, nobody can outsell me. There's nobody. There's 0. But these 2 girls are phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I kind of let them have that counter a little bit.
A lot of it.
So I'm kind of running that back end now.
Yeah.
I'm watching that back end. So I'm making sure that car gets done
Right.
on time. I'm making sure that wheel's torqued. I'm making sure that air pressure. I'm driving that car down the road. So we're giving them smiling faces, good service, all the other stuff goes with it. And then they got somebody like me. I've seen people say, Chuck drove my car.
Yeah.
It's like, that was a big deal to
Do
him.
you
I
know
drove the
what's
car.
absolutely crazy and just
That means you're right.
This is what blows my mind about my dad. This is
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
And now this is like when we were first hitting Facebook hot and heavy. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is just a surreal topic that this even happened. People would just see us on Facebook from like Dayton, Cincinnati, Columbus.
Yeah.
They would walk in and it'd be my dad. Like I was just using an old iPhone to like film him.
Yeah.
And he'd be doing all these ads, like, I've got these deals, I've got this tire, I've got that tire. They'd walk in and they'd see him and they'd be like, oh my gosh, that's really him.
Yeah.
Like, that's Chuck from the video.
That's really you. I thought you was a franchise. I thought you was
said,
this
no,
or that.
this isn't a marketing ploy, that's my dad.
No.
And they're like, that's your dad? I'm like, yeah, me and him are running the show.
Wow.
You know,
This is all us.
another thing I think for tire dealers to do Facebook Live.
Really?
Give them that touch, that feel.
A lot of them might be afraid nobody's watching, or they
Oh,
don't
they're
have enough
watching.
subscribers.
Oh,
or
they're
whatever.
watching.
Oh yeah, you
So
gotta just do your lives.
Just do them.
And the more real and entertaining you can be, people like
See
real.
that.
When you just get up there and you're just
Nah, you can't be dry. You got to put a little.
I watch
Right.
tire
Theatrics
ads
to
all
it,
the
man.
time, and it's just
Yeah.
like I have this tire for here. It's like no,
Nah.
you gotta do it Chuck way. I
I'd
mean,
like-
you gotta
yeah,
find
yeah.
that
Yeah,
person
put
out
Like
some-
the little hat thing you
Yeah.
guys did with the raffle, like little things like that. Just
Yeah,
like
little things. Put a little spice to it. A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them something to see.
so.
Yeah.
I'm sure though. I mean, Chuck Wade's obviously a very successful company right now.
Yeah.
Normally, businesses experience ups and downs. Has
Yeah.
Chuck ever experienced downs where you know?
You know, I really have not.
Okay.
I really have not
Wow.
experienced downs. I think 2008 we've seen a little dip,
I mean, we've had downs in different ways,
but the last 5, 6, 7 years,
10 years probably.
10 years.
Well, let's
up.
talk about
Yeah.
those potential periods of downtime.
Mhm.
What was it that you guys did that caused it to grow even further after being
can tell
at that
you right
position
now.
tough?
Yeah.
So I'll give you the best example ever is COVID.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people that took their foot off the gas. A lot of dealers.
And I told
they
her-
paused it, and we did the opposite.
We put our foot on the carpet.
We put it. Yeah, we put the pedal.
We
to the
mashed
pedal
that.
and
We
go.
mashed that pedal to the. I said, "This is when we're gonna make some money."
Yeah, we went hot and heavy. We just,
We did exact opposite, and we went up to $400,000 and $500,000 a month in sales. Our competitors, they puckered their butts up. They went and hid. They put masks on. They closed. They went. You park your car up there. We cleaned our shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
we
follow
wore
all the
masks,
guidelines. We're not saying
But
that.
we
No,
took
no,
care
but
of
I get it.
customers. We got in their car. We took care of them.
Well,
we did.
one thing that just killed me,
Mhm.
and this is what I mean where they stopped, we were
Mhm.
having distributors come in and they're like, oh, like, a lot of places were staying open in automotive. But what I was hearing from distributors is like, oh, well, this guy's worried about COVID, so he's not buying like he used to.
Yeah.
And that was not even in
That was the
Chuck
worst
Wade's
attitude
boat.
you could have.
Yeah, that's what I mean by they didn't hit the gas. My dad did the opposite.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to.
I said we're gonna make more money.
Did
Yeah.
you get some good deals during that time? Are we talking about product or what?
Yeah.
We had product, but we were selling more tires than ever.
Yeah.
More tires than ever.
And that's because everybody else was being
Their competitors all
Just
backed
Puckered up.
up and puckered up. And I read a book one time about that. And do the opposite.
yeah.
Do the
I
opposite.
thought it was all.
They're
I was
doing
like-
89%
Yeah.
doing this. I said, I'm going this way. You guys are going that way. I'm going to go this way.
It killed me. We had a guy, a distributor
Yeah.
in here,
Yeah.
one of their salespeople.
Mhm.
He was telling us that like another business, like they just said like during COVID, like they were not advertising. And I'm like, they halted all their advertising? Why would you do that?
You want to hit it harder.
We advertised more than ever during COVID.
We made more money than we ever in our lives.
So that's what you have to do. You
In our
have
lives.
to put your nose to the grindstone.
You
at all
just got to
times.
pound it out. And for right now, people say the economy's going to get worse.
Well, you don't know that.
We don't know that, but we'll get busier.
Yeah.
That's one thing we could, yeah.
We'll get busy. You know why we're going to get busier? Because we're going to be able to finance them.
Yeah. And we're just
When
gonna
that-
keep going.
when
You
that-
take that weakness as a strength.
I took
now.
that, and and
Okay.
that when that the groceries are higher, the gas is higher,
Which is
but they
Yeah.
still got to go to work.
They still have to commute.
They still got to
have
get there,
Yep.
And you still have to service people with their needs.
and
Yeah.
we're going to make it easier for them.
Right.
Yep.
We're
It
going to
helps
make
out a
it
lot of
easier for
people.
them. Yeah.
You know, I think the financing part is definitely something that wasn't there, I would say 5 years, 10
No.
years ago, and that
No.
not a lot of
Well,
shops.
that's false.
Well,
I
yeah.
won my first award in financing when I was 12 years old.
Okay. Well, you're right. I would say.
That's what they
That's
want you
actually-
to think, Fernando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see this. Yes.
Yes. She opened up 300 one day.
Yeah. This is like was it from a magazine? Is it?
Yeah.
Or was it just a printout?
Bridgestone
that
Firestone.
Read the top.
They wrote it
Success story.
So Mariah Wade, 12 years old,
Right.
signs up over 300.
in one day.
2 days.
Yeah.
That was a 2-day event, Dad.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
The
you got
financing has
you got
always
a $300 check.
From
Back
that.
then,
Well,
was
she got more than that
I got
because
600.
I told her that day. I said, for everyone you sign up, I'll give you $2.
No, you did $1.
$1.
Fact check. In case someone zooms in and
But
reads
for
that.
Okay,
some-
but
$2.
anyway, she turned around, and tugged on my shirt. She's 12 years. She goes, "Boy, Dad, you owe me a lot of money." I turned around, and she was like, that, like, whoa. But we opened up about 350,000 in credit
And they
line
took me
that
to
one day.
A big,
That one
they
day.
paid for me a big resort, Bridgestone Firestone did.
Yeah, up to
Like a
Kalahari.
suite. Yeah, we went to a big water park.
Yeah.
And
So
I
for you,
didn't
it must
know
have
at the time, like I was 12 and I love Bridgestone Firestone, nothing against them. But like, you know, at 12 years old, you think, man, they gave me $300 and they paid for my 3-day vacation to Kalahari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how much credit lines I opened these people? I probably made them $1 million.
But you know, what's impressive there is
Yeah.
that you have all these trained salespeople in very nice stores,
Yeah.
and they can't get 1, 2, 3 credit cards, let alone.
I have
300.
stacks of those where Chuck Waite's number one, and it'll say such
You've
and
won
such,
multiple times.
such and such Los Angeles is second, so and so's third in Houston. And Chuck Waite Tire Marshtown was always number one.
Yeah.
Always.
And that's what kills me because that's what people say. They're like, you know, like they think this is a new thing.
It was amazing how I won it every time. I'd go to county fairs.
Yeah.
I'd go to
This is
county.
not
I'd set up
new.
a big booth, Tires Wheels, say, "Hey, sign up for one of my credit cards. I'll give you a free hat. I'll give you a free shirt."
Or like enter
And I'd sit there and I'd just get one after another, after another, after another. And they'd say, "Well, he just signed up 350 people this month or 250 people this month." Well, I couldn't get them through the door because I didn't have enough volume, but I'd get them at a fair or something.
Yeah, a show that you got to work your trade shows too.
Yeah, and
But
that's
now
how I
we're
get
so
them.
busy, like we have to do less.
Now we're
of that
so
around
busy, we
here,
don't have to really
just
worry
because
about
of the
that.
name. But like when you're just
Yeah.
starting out, like you really got to put yourself out there any way you can to get exposure.
So the number one tire dealer, single location retail in the SEMA is Chuck Waite Tire.
Okay.
Now they've signed up some Big O stores, but there's not one of them, not one single one that outdoes us. None.
Yeah.
They've told me.
So how many? Because I do want to make this fair comparison.
Yeah.
How much? How many sales did you guys do or predicting to do, and what's the square footage and bay count in your store? So we could kind of compare you by the bay.
So bay count, official bays are 12 bays, and then there's the 13th bay is our drive-through.
Okay, so
That's good, yeah. Square footage of the bays.
of workspace we could call
Yeah,
it.
The
workspace.
workspace would be.
Consider your new tires as well, okay? Because I think
How much
product
was that
is-
addition, Dad?
About, I think that's 6,500.
Yeah.
And then this here about probably another couple thousand, 3,000. So probably about 9,500 square
Okay.
foot.
So 9,500
Square feet
foot
in workshop
shop
area.
with 12 bays. Because I'm not gonna count the 13th bay was the.
No,
the one- the
there's no
drive-through.
work goes to
There's
it.
no work done.
There's
there.
no work, it
So
just
you could
drives
have
to
done
it.
that outside. You just chose to have it.
Drove it down there.
So yeah, we're not gonna count that one.
But it's my most profitable way.
Now,
Ah,
Dad, hold on a second here. We need to think about our building.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 and 3, which is 6. Then you got 5. Then you got 2.
No, hang on, man.
You've got 13 bays plus the pool 3 bay.
Let's see. You may be right.
Yeah,
Let's see.
yeah.
6,
Yeah.
11, 12. Yeah, we have 14 bays.
We got more.
I just slid there.
Slid one right by me.
No
Man, that's the
way.
first time I missed a number in a while.
Just in case someone looks at a picture of our store.
Yeah,
and they're
it
like,
is
"Wait a
correct.
second."
13 bays,
Yeah.
one drive-through, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely keep the count, and like I said, I definitely plan on visiting more stores, and
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be very hard. It's funny because this is like the second video we're recording, but I think you guys are setting the bar way too hard. Where nobody's gonna be able to beat it.
No.
So,
But it's 40 years. It's 40 years of experience.
And then in terms of sales, can you guys share at least like a gross revenue?
I think we're going to
perspective?
be close to 6 million this year.
We're hoping.
Okay,
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
that's extremely good.
Extremely
You know
good,
that-
yeah.
You know
That-
what we need to
yeah.
talk about on this podcast,
What's that?
honestly?
What's that?
And this is just something that's so good.
What's that?
If you're really wanting other dealers, okay? And this
Yeah.
is just from me. So, and people are like, oh, the world's not like that anymore, which I'm in a rural area, but a lot of people are, like you're saying. When I first started at the sales counter, I kind of started fumbling around in it in about 2009. I'm a girl, okay? So I would be up at the sales counter, and you know, here it's not, and the Chuck Waite training for his kids is just watch what I do.
Yeah.
It's not like you're thrown in the frying pan,
Yeah.
which is good. You know, the way you're going to learn to talk to people on the phone is you're going to answer one. That's Dad's thoughts.
And I'll give you feedback after
Yeah,
we go.
yeah. Well, just as we go, well, the customers will give you feedback. But people are iffy on a girl. It used to be a huge thing when I started, and it'd be like, is anybody else there that I can talk to? Like, literally, people would tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a dealer meeting one time. Where was I at when I told you this, Dad? I was with Cooper in Mexico.
Yeah.
It was their Cooper medallion trip.
Yeah.
And I was sitting at a table. And there was this guy there. And I was just messing with him. I didn't know him. So he's like, what's the secret? He was talking to my husband because he thought my husband was there that won the award.
Oh,
We won the Best of the Best award through Cooper Tire.
Yeah. It was me that won the award, but
Yeah.
of course he was a man all puffed up thinking he's all that, blah, blah, blah. So he says, like, what's the trick? And he's talking to my husband, and my husband doesn't even know what he's talking about. And I'm like, oh, you mean the business? And he's like, yeah. I said, well, I've got it for you. Let me tell you. And I said, you got to hire a girl at your sales counter. And he literally asked me, he's like, do you think girls can learn? And I just said, well, yeah, we have brains.
Wow.
But if you can get that father-daughter duo or some girls up at the sales counter, girls can do automotive.
You know, I think that
Women like to buy off women too. They feel
There's nothing wrong with it.
more confident with women.
Yeah.
Because men, there's a lot of men out there that's dishonest.
No,
Sell
Well,
stuff they
it's
don't need.
It's the same all the way around.
But
women
I
can
mean,
do it just the
they know
same.
I'm never going to be dishonest with them. But a lot of them will come in. Well, it's just nice you have some girls in here. Wait on.
I think it's easier to build that
Yeah.
trust
Yeah.
with female to female, especially you know
Yeah.
you not being let's say
Yeah.
single mom or mom just comes and is buying
Right.
tires.
Yeah.
They don't know if this mechanic
Is
or
being
whoever-
straight up or honest.
exactly, and
Yeah.
maybe female to female could. So
Yeah.
I do agree with that. You know,
Yeah.
in Vegas we
Yeah.
also have noticed.
Yeah.
With specific female salespeople,
Yeah.
sometimes we notice actually better results than with
But
traditional.
in automotive, it's getting better. But like it's like the tire industry's behind. But like it's just now kind of starting to get where like females don't just have to work at call centers. They don't just have to like do bookkeeping.
Yeah.
Like put me running the sales counter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
No,
it's good. It can be really good.
I think, that's a very good point. I was actually sharing this
Yeah.
fact with your sister
Yeah.
earlier when I was
Yeah,
walking
yeah.
around, that 60% of the viewers on my channel
Yeah.
are actually female.
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't that
that's
great?
interesting.
Isn't
that's
it
great, yeah.
interesting? I mean, to me at first,
Right.
you would have assumed,
Right.
Yeah.
people who's looking at videos
Yeah.
of how to
Yeah.
open tire shops or wholesalers, and I would say males. I would say most likely is going to be a male,
Yeah.
but it's
Female
female. And
women
then-
get in. Yeah.
and I think it's just very
And there's
interesting.
nothing wrong
no?
with it.
There's nothing wrong, but
It's
it does
good.
definitely gives me
Yeah.
perspective of saying, hey,
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe we need to
Yeah.
make sure we're addressing these types of
Oh, yeah, sure.
conversations. That it's
And
okay.
if you're a
And
girl and you just have that personality too, and I kind of feel sorry for them when they hate women in here because I'm gonna eat them alive.
Oh.
I just get them up one
You
side
see,
down the other. They
yeah.
don't even know.
We had one
I
gentleman
give it right
didn't want
back
her to
to
wait
him.
on him. He wanted tires and wheels, and I said, Mariah will get you. And he goes, oh no, I want to talk to you. I said, no, you don't.
Yeah.
I said, she knows way more about wheels than I do. And I said, when she gets done talking to you, you're gonna be amazed. He goes, okay. And about 10 minutes later, he sit down and goes, man, she's good. I said,
it's
oh
just,
yeah.
I think it's just that breaking the
Yeah.
ice.
But I wouldn't let him get away with it. I said, no, you're gonna talk to her.
Yeah, and that's what you gotta do. If you're that father-daughter duo,
Yeah.
you cannot give in to your customers like that. You have to celebrate
No.
diversity and women working in business like what my dad does.
Yeah.
Just don't, nicely, don't
Yeah.
allow it. If they're like,
Yeah.
no, just like men only or like you only, just say, no, no, no. Like really talk up the other people because
Yeah.
it's good. It can be really good.
And I'll tell you something, when you walk through that door as a customer, or any business, you want that, when you're waiting on them, you want to be good attitude and nice
Yeah,
and smile at them.
definitely.
That goes a long ways with people.
Yeah,
It's like, man,
yeah.
they said all the time, I've had thousands of people say things about him. He was a nice guy, man. He is always
Yeah.
smiling, he's happy, he's,
Yeah.
you know.
And even if people
You go in these places and they're a bunch of
are
sour attitude. You don't want to do business with something like that, you know.
Yeah.
Get-
No,
wait,
for
wait
sure.
on me, man. And I just think a good attitude goes
Oh,
a long ways.
right. And it changes their attitude. When you just keep it so positive, it's infectious. It's like it spreads like
It
wildfire.
does.
It is.
Yeah.
It does.
And it's good. And you want to have some energy.
There's some guy come every day and he's like, he's this, that, and he's like questioning things. And I finally said, dude, you've been buying your tart at the wrong place.
Yeah.
I said, that doesn't happen here, man. You've been going to the wrong places, man.
Yeah.
I said, when you've been here a while, you're going to find out you have nothing to worry about.
Right.
I'm going to care more about your car than you do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I told him. I
like
said,
that.
way more than you. You're
Right.
not even going to realize the things that I'm doing and watching for you that you never even
I
noticed.
feel you could sell rocks, Chuck.
I can.
I mean,
can.
now I'm
I
seeing
can.
you both
And she
guys
can
are-
too.
yeah.
And she can too.
Yeah, it's
I was with Morgan. She
impressive.
worked for a bank one time, and the guy goes, "Is Morgan Farber your daughter?" I go, "Yeah." Man, she's won everything in that bank. I said, "Yeah, she's my kid. My kids can sell. My kids can
that's a very
absolutely
good
sell." And I'll tell you one thing: I raised them in church.
Okay.
I raised
very
them. They know. They were raised little. I dressed them. I took them to church every Sunday, and they were raised. They knew to be kind and not judge, and to give,
Oh, absolutely.
and to love, and to care. And as simple as I taught them getting out of the car, don't smack your door in somebody else's car. Have respect for people's property. They know that.
Yeah.
When they get out of that car door, you watch my kids. They'll make sure they don't hit your door.
Yeah.
Yeah, respect.
Very
And
thoughtful.
it's very powerful.
Yeah.
Yep. And we're givers.
Yeah. Oh,
If
definitely.
we know somebody in our community is struggling,
We try to help them if we
we're gonna
can.
help them. And we've paid house payments, we've paid property taxes, we've paid
Funerals.
electric bills, we've paid funerals,
Wow.
and we've paid a lot of things. And that is another thing about business is you got to give. You got to give in your
It's
community.
more than just about you. Like
It
it's,
is.
It's bigger than you.
It's way bigger than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you gotta
And-
give back.
I have had people come in crying and say, "Oh, Chuck, I'm getting my electric shut off. Come here, let me help you."
Yeah.
Or one instance, one girl got a loan to pay her mother's funeral off. She
That
goes,
was a sad deal.
"All my family is not helping me."
Wow.
And I said, "What's her payment?" I told her, I said, "What's our payment?" And she
Yeah.
told me. And I made payments, and I helped her pay her mother's funeral off.
Wow.
And she was here Thursday, that lady.
I love her.
Believe me, when you do things like that, they ain't going nowhere else.
Oh, it's
You can't make them go nowhere else.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Once you've helped somebody with a funeral or helped them get their electric on or painted their house and bought their kids clothes and put mattresses in their house.
Yeah, we remodeled a house for a lady. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
And things like
The
that.
upstairs.
They ain't going nowhere else. You can't make them go nowhere else.
And not only that,
stuff like that.
But like this is the really cool part about
Yeah.
a rural area. And I
Yeah.
know there's a lot of people in a rural
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
This is the power of Facebook. So
Yeah.
people think social media can be really bad. It's true. But it can also be very good to help others.
Oh yeah.
Because what we're able to buy, and it's not that I couldn't go buy a kid clothes because I
Yeah.
can go buy a kid clothes.
Yeah.
I don't have the time.
No.
I don't always know what they need. I wasn't even a mom until 2
Yeah.
years ago, okay?
Yeah.
But I can put on my Facebook if I know a kid from Mariestown needs clothes, and I could go get them a couple bags.
Yeah.
We're not around malls out here. I'm looking at Walmart, 15
Yeah,
minutes
yeah.
away to go somewhere,
Yeah.
okay? Because we're just out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But if I put it on my Facebook, there'll be someone that lives out here. Honestly, this is how good people are out here. Just good country people.
We've had bags.
Their kid will have that size, and they'll be like, "Oh, you need clothes? You're not getting a bag full. Who is this kid?" You tell them it's an in-need situation.
Yeah.
They don't just bring clothes for that kid. Give me the siblings.
Oh, yeah.
We're filling closets and dressers now of clothes.
Yep.
It's talking like
We are.
it takes 2 cars to haul it to their house
Yep.
type of thing. That's how good it is out here.
It
with
really
people
is.
like that. And
It-
we can put it on Facebook, and what we're able to do is magnify.
Yep.
Because other people want to help and get involved.
Yeah.
It's so,
And we've
it's
had
so
a-
great.
We've literally raised thousands of dollars for people. We had one gentleman that got hospital with
A
COVID.
couple times.
We'd say, we need somebody to give us $100 each.
Yeah, we put on Facebook like to raise $1,000 at a time. Like we're looking for 10 people that want to give $100.
Yeah.
Then go
Next
deliver
morning,
it
there'd
to
be
families.
20, 30 people
Yeah.
at my door.
We just did it with a house fire.
Yep.
We just had a house fire in
Yeah.
Morristown.
Incredible,
We put it
right?
on
And I'd get a
Facebook.
hold of their wife because I knew they were traveling and they
Yeah.
had to pay a house payment and truck payment. And I'd say, look here, and I'd have a wallet or an envelope full of $100 bills. And I put each person's name on it. I said, I don't care.
Well, and they could see it on
I
Facebook.
told the customer, I said, I'm putting your name on here. I know you don't want them to know, but it needs to be known.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would be that like that. And that one family that we helped,
Yeah.
I just did the brother yesterday. I've never done in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
Wow. So with all these great
Yeah.
stories, the success you guys
Yeah.
are having,
Yeah.
what do you guys see for the future of Chuck Wade?
You know, I think that we're even going to get better.
I
Is
think
that
so,
hard to
too.
believe?
No,
I honestly think we're going to
absolutely
get
not.
better. You know, Morgan's starting a new site. We're going to be doing.
Let's talk a little bit about the
Yeah.
projects you guys have, about
Yeah.
exactly that new site. I know you guys have an interest, obviously.
Yeah, we
in
got a new
selling
site,
online.
selling online. So we're really excited about that.
Okay.
Can we say the name? Or no?
Yeah, absolutely. It's,
BP Tire and Wheel? BP Wheel and Tire.
How many
Damn.
days does our shop have, Dad?
That's okay.
That's all right. So yeah, so we're excited about that. And Mariah's gonna get in the mattress business.
Yeah, I'm gonna dabble in the mattress business.
I'm getting
Wow,
more
congrats.
franchising. I'm gonna try to get people out there.
Well,
But my number one thing I really want to do is consulting.
really? Okay.
I really want to do consulting. I want to catch that young
Well, you're
Chuck,
already doing that
that
now.
young Chuck Wade kid, about 21 or 2 years old, and I want to say, I've been there. I know what you got to do, and you can
And I
miss
know what
all
you gotta
them
do.
steps that I had to take. We can just bypass them and take you right into a good place.
Yeah.
And I think this is something I haven't shared, but I
Yeah.
think consulting goes a long way.
It
And
does.
You're not gonna believe this, but there's a lot of people that
Yeah.
reach out sometimes to me,
Yeah.
and I don't feel comfortable giving them advice because I'm like, look,
Yeah.
I might be able to tell you how to import a
Yeah.
tire,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like I don't have that
Yeah.
background behind
Background.
me to be able to tell you how to run a store because I would
Yeah.
be. So it kind of serves.
Yeah.
If we do have some shops, and eventually if you're open to it, I definitely would.
I definitely
more
would be
than
able
willing
to. And I've
collaborate.
told, and I've had Goodyear come to me and say, man, we got a young couple in Wisconsin struggling. Would you help them, Chuck? Sure. Tell them to
Wow.
call me.
And we're looking for those people that are like good, like us.
Yeah.
Just like down
I just want a
home,
good, down
easy
home.
going, like they're just
Yeah.
legit. It's
That really
legit.
have their heart and soul in it.
Yeah.
And they're struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I always tell them, I said, you're really only about 2 or 3 clicks off and you don't even know it.
It's like you have all the ingredients, but you're just not mixing them together.
Yeah, you're just,
Yeah.
you got
It's like I know I'm missing something.
you're missing
Yeah.
something. And once I look at them, I said, you're only 2 or 3 clicks. And watch this.
And we learned this the hard way.
And I'll click them. I said, what's just one click? I said, you want me to show you how to make 20,000 more a month? I'll show you this one click. And when I show them, they're like, wow, I didn't know we could do that.
That's amazing. The power of mentorship.
The power of mentorship.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
you got mentors early on because of your
Oh,
childhood.
yeah.
That's the part he needs to talk about briefly. Is
Yeah.
how he learned to get mentors and why.
Wow.
You had
I was
John.
looking for them.
You're looking for
I
I was
saw.
looking for them. I mean, I would reach out to them. I'd drive their house. I'd drive their business.
Yeah.
I want to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I need help. I need you to tell me this or that.
And
Or
that's so hard from people. Like you
Yeah.
don't realize how many people around you want to help,
yeah.
and they just
Most of
don't
them want to help
because-
you.
Yeah,
They just didn't know you had the interest.
they just don't know you need that help or you want that help.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but there's a lot of people around you that want to help and is willing
yeah.
to help and step
Oh
in and
yeah,
help.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I got around some guys that were just the best in the industry, and I'd say, how you do that? Just for example, like importing a tire.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not easy.
Yeah.
You know.
It
There's some
is-
tricks.
It's trick, but it's like everything. Once it's like for example, for someone changing a tire might
Yeah.
be rocket
Different-
science.
Yeah.
But once it's not hard. You just got to know the process. You got to have the right equipment. You got to
gotta
have
have
the right team.
You do.
But once you have the right pieces,
It's easy.
it's extremely
easy.
easy.
It's
So that's
very-
where consulting suddenly or mentorship becomes extremely valuable
It
because
does.
it saves you the pain of
Yeah.
learning the hard way.
Exactly. And learning the hard way can be very costly.
It could, yeah,
It
exactly.
could put you out of business.
And
And
just
emotional.
and especially when a lot of this advice could just be given for free.
Yeah.
Just simply asking the right
Yeah.
people the right
You
questions.
know, like you laying in bed and like, how am I going to pay my bills or how am I going to pay my help? You know, but
And you've been there.
yeah, but when you learn it and you've learned all these deals, how to make money and you got money, you sleep quite well at night.
Yeah, no, I bet.
Quite
Absolutely.
well at night. Yeah, it's like, that issue's gone. And then the beauty is being able to help and give. But
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I mean, I really appreciate you guys speaking with me today, for opening your doors to your business.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful shop.
Oh, thank you.
We have
Like I
another
said,
video
yeah.
that we do the walk around of the shop. If you guys want to definitely see that one.
Yeah.
I did actually forgot the actual sponsor. We have a sponsor of this video.
Oh, nice.
It's, when I travel, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard for me to be able to afford, because right now I still have my startup and we're doing
yeah.
more software.
Yeah.
But the sponsor of this video is actually TireBase.
Nice.
I'm the founder of TireBase. It's software company for tire businesses, especially tire businesses that are starting, distributors. Eventually, we'll get to manufacturers. But again, I just have to say that because technically, TireBase is paying for flights and stuff like that. So it's only fair to give them a shout out. But thank you so much, guys, for joining us, for joining me, for letting me talk to you guys and share this great story.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to say before we end?
Not really, outside of if you love the tar business like I do, just have your passion and your blood, sweat, and tears, and you will have all three of them. But like I said, you can find a mentor or a good consultant or
multiple.
multiple mentors. But I tell you, read books. Read about businesses. You can learn a lot, and I've learned a lot about business. Believe it or not, restaurant businesses and carpet business is a little bit similar to the tar business. It's all about margins and payrolls and stuff like that, and marketing, good marketing. So
Maybe one day we could have a book.
we really do need a book.
That would be
the
great.
Chuck Waite,
Yeah.
the Chuck
That would
Waite
be very
book.
nice.
Yes, it would be.
It's a legacy.
It's definitely a legacy, and it's very humble beginnings from dirt poor to a kid that done some remarkable things
That'd be nice.
that should have never happened in a town this size.